Hey guys, it's Nelly here. I've got something really important I need to get off my chest. For years, there's been this ongoing tension between my mom and my wife Ashanti, and I feel like it's time I finally addressed it head on. This isn't easy for me to talk about, but I think it's necessary for me to finally try to get some resolution here. Let me walk you through the whole story. Ashanti and I have been married for 10 years now, and let me tell you, it hasn't always been easy. From the very beginning, my mom has had a real issue with Ashanti. I'm not 100% sure what the root of it is, but I know it stems back to when Ashanti and I first started dating over 15 years ago. My mom never really approved of our relationship. She was always subtly, and sometimes not so subtly, throwing shade at Ashanti, making little snide comments, and generally just not being welcoming or supportive. And let me tell you, that took a real toll on Ashanti over the years. There were so many times when she would come to me in tears because of something my mom had said or done. I would always try to defend Ashanti and stand up for her, but my mom is a very strong-willed, stubborn woman. She just would not budge. And that created a lot of tension and strain, not just between Ashanti and my mom, but between me and my mom as well. It got to the point where there were times I really didn't even want to be around my own mother because of how she treated my wife. Well, things finally came to a head a few months ago. Ashanti and I were over at my parents' house for a family dinner, and as usual, the tension in the air was palpable. My mom was giving Ashanti the cold shoulder, barely acknowledging her. Then, at one point during the meal, my mom made some snide remark about Ashanti's cooking. And that was the final straw for me. I just exploded. I'd been holding all of this in for years, and I couldn't take it anymore. I laid into my mom, telling her how unacceptable her behavior has been and how much pain and hurt she's caused Ashanti over the years. I told her that Ashanti is the love of my life, the woman I chose to spend the rest of my life with, and that her constant disrespect and mistreatment of Ashanti is something I simply won't tolerate anymore. My mom was shocked. I don't think she was expecting me to stand up to her like that. She tried to defend herself, saying that she was just trying to look out for me and that Ashanti wasn't good enough for me. But I shut that down real quick. I told her that Ashanti is more than good enough, that she's an amazing woman who has loved me unconditionally, and that her opinion of Ashanti doesn't matter to me at all. And needless to say, that dinner did not end well. There was a lot of yelling and crying, and it was just a mess. Ashanti was mortified and didn't know where to look. My dad tried to play peacemaker, but there was no diffusing the situation. My mom stormed out, and Ashanti and I ended up leaving shortly after. In the days and weeks that followed, I knew I had to do something. I couldn't just let things go back to the way they were. This had gone on for far too long, and I wasn't going to let my mom's stubbornness and pride continue to ruin my marriage. So I sat my mom down and told her that she needed to apologize to Ashanti. I made it clear that this wasn't negotiable, she had to do it, and she had to mean it. It wasn't easy. My mom is not one to admit when she's wrong, but after a lot of back and forth, and me really laying it all out for her, how much pain she's caused, how she's jeopardized my relationship with Ashanti, how she needs to put her ego aside for once, she finally agreed to apologize. So a few days ago, Ashanti and I went over to my parents' house, and my mom sat Ashanti down and apologized. It wasn't the most eloquent or heartfelt apology I've ever heard, but the sentiment was there. She acknowledged that she's been unfair and disrespectful to Ashanti over the years, and that she's going to make a real effort to be more welcoming and supportive going forward. Ashanti was understandably skeptical at first, but I think she could tell that my mom was being sincere. And at the end of the day, that's all that really matters to me. I just want my two favorite women in the world to be able to get along. I want there to be peace and harmony in my family. So I'm hopeful that this marks a turning point. It's not going to be an overnight fix, but I'm optimistic that with time and effort from both sides, my mom and Ashanti can develop a real, genuine relationship. And that would mean the world to me anyway. That's my story. I know it's a bit of a heavy one, but I felt like it was important for me to share. Relationships, especially family relationships, can be really complicated. But at the end of the day, all that matters is that you fight for the people you love. And that's exactly what I'm going to keep doing. Alright, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thanks for listening to my story. I hope it resonates with some of you out there who might be going through similar family drama. Just know that you're not alone, and that it's always worth fighting for the people who mean the most to you. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.